I showed up to what was supposed to be my own promotion dinner. I'd spent $8,700 renting out a private rooftop, only to find a sticky note slapped on the welcome sign. It read, "Event moved, celebrating Ethan's first A+." Just like that, I pulled out my phone, checked Facebook, and sure enough, there was Mom's post, "Some wins actually matter." I didn't react. Just smiled to myself, walked back home, and mailed them a box with a lock on it. At exactly 1:26 in the morning, my sister's face filled my screen. FaceTime. She was panicking, holding that same box, screaming into the phone, "Who else saw this?" But let me take you back to earlier that night. That rooftop? It had a custom menu, those tall heat lamps, and a perfect view of the skyline. I'd wired the money 2 weeks before, made all the arrangements myself. I wasn't trying to show off, I just wanted one evening to celebrate something I worked hard for. Something simple. Honest. Just one moment where I could feel proud. I showed up 10 minutes ahead of time. Rode the elevator up alone. The only sound was some mellow jazz playing through the ceiling speakers. When the doors opened, I stepped into this beautiful setup, soft string lights overhead, white table linens, champagne chilling on ice. One of the staff recognized me right away. "Mr. Black, congratulations again," he said with a polite smile. I gave a nod and said thanks, trying not to beam too much. But then I looked around. The place was completely empty. I checked my watch. Maybe I was early, maybe they were running behind. And that's when I noticed it. A bright yellow sticky note, stuck right over the welcome sign that had my name printed in shiny silver. 5 words in messy black Sharpie. "Event moved, celebrating Ethan's first A+." No explanation. No apology. Just a flat-out redirect. Like the entire night had been nothing more than a scheduling conflict. I didn't move. Just stood there, letting the cold night air seep through my sleeves. A few moments later, the manager approached me. He looked nervous. "Sir," he said, "your mother asked to move the event. Something about a family update." His voice sort of trailed off there, like even he wasn't sure what he was saying. He looked as awkward as I felt. I still thanked him, calm, polite, like I wasn't even part of the scene anymore. I pulled my phone out again, checked Facebook, and there it was. A photo of Ethan, my sister's kid, grinning and holding up a paper with a gold star on it. Mom's caption? "Some wins actually matter." That right there, that was the moment it all clicked. I didn't lose my temper. Didn't make a scene. Just went quiet. I walked over to the table, poured myself a glass of that champagne, took one sip and walked away. I didn't say anything to the staff. Didn't call my family. Didn't ask why. Just went home. No one called to check on me. Back in my apartment, I dumped the rest of the champagne down the drain. The bottle made this hollow clunk when I dropped it in the recycling bin. Then I mailed them a box. Small, matte black, with a lock on it. No note. No explanation. Just a short line inside. "Thought this might come in handy." At 1:26 a.m., my phone lit up, FaceTime. It was my sister, screaming into the camera. Not mad, just panicked. Her face was red, hair a mess, and she had the box clutched in both hands. "Who else saw this?" she shouted. I didn't answer. Just stared at her. And then I hung up. Because by then, the silence wasn't just awkward, it was the only thing protecting me. I couldn't sleep that night. Not from anger. Not because of the FaceTime. But because for the first time, I saw it all clearly. The pattern. The history. I sat in my office chair long after the screen went dark. The box had been delivered, confirmed. I leaned back and stared up at the ceiling, letting the memories play like a slideshow. This wasn't about one dinner. It never had been. It probably started the first time I came back from college and saw all my stuff had been moved to the garage. They turned my old bedroom into Ethan's playroom. No heads up. No boxes. Just a pile of my things in cardboard next to the lawn tools. Or maybe it was that Christmas after I made partner at the firm. I bought gifts for everyone, real ones. I'd put time into each one. Dad opened his, an engraved watch with his initials. He looked at it for a second, then said, "Must be nice to waste money on nonsense." And they all laughed. Like it was a joke. That same night, Mom pulled me aside to ask if I could help with the mortgage, just for a few months. I paid it for 4 years. Never heard a thank you. Never even got a nod. Then there was the family phone plan. Apparently, it was too expensive. I found out they dropped me when my service cut off mid-call. But Ethan's tablet still worked fine. What? Gone. No warning. No reason. Just gone. They never had to say it directly. Their actions spelled it out every time. I was there to help, not to matter. Every flashback hit hard. The shrimp I paid for at Dad's retirement party, the party I wasn't invited to. The storage unit I kept paying for, supposedly temporary, until they forgot it was even in my name. The first-class vacation they booked on my Amex. I only found out because the charges showed up. Tickets. Luxury seats. Not one with my name on it. And Ethan, always Ethan. He got a new bike? They threw a dinner. Landed a role in the school play? Full-blown party. Got an A+? Well, apparently that was worth hijacking an entire rooftop dinner. I bought them a car when theirs finally died, and the next question was whether I could handle the insurance payments too. It was never about celebrating me. Never about respect. It was about what they could take. How much I'd stay quiet. How far I'd let them go. They didn't forget me. They used me. Built their lives on my support. My wallet. My systems. And for the first time, I stopped making excuses for them. That truth settled in my chest like something heavy, but honest. I wasn't their son. Not really. I was the foundation. The account. The automatic deposit. And now they were terrified, not because they felt guilty, but because I stopped playing along. That little black box? It wasn't just a box. Inside was a packet I'd put together, dozens of printed pages. Bank statements. Transaction logs. Screenshots of email approvals. Subscriptions. Transfers. Every single way they leaned on me without ever saying so out loud. It was all there. Everything I'd become to them. It was all there, lined up clean, page by page. Numbered. Labeled. Easy to follow. The very last page carried a single bold sentence in thick black letters. This system is offline. Indefinitely. That's what broke my sister, not shame, not regret. It was clarity. For the first time, she saw what I'd made visible. They'd always assumed that silence would hide everything. But I flipped the lights on. And once they saw the machine I'd been running for years, they realized the truth. I'd turned off the flow. No more quiet access. No more invisible support. It wasn't just about one dinner. That night was just the alarm clock finally going off. Now they couldn't unsee it, even if they tried. I woke up the next morning at exactly 5:03 a.m. Phone screen? Blank. No missed calls. No new messages. Just silence and the echo of my sister's panicked FaceTime still ringing in the back of my mind. But I didn't feel fear. My heart was pounding, sure, but it wasn't dread. It was something sharper, colder, liberating. I rolled up my sleeves and sat at my desk. 5:07 a.m. I logged into the joint bank account first. I clicked freeze debit card. No alerts went to them. No pop-ups. No texts. They still thought that account was live. Didn't realize I'd quietly pulled the plug. 5:12 a.m. I moved last month's mortgage payment out of that account and back into my own savings. I labeled the transfer clearly, repayment. Took a screenshot. Locked it away in a secure folder. 5:17 a.m. I drafted a short email to their insurance provider. Subject line, cancel coverage. Message, please terminate policy #XXXX effective immediately. I've attached ownership documents and the full payment history for your records. Kindly confirm when complete. No frills. No fluff. Just clean, solid action. By 5:24, I had logged into every auto payment I'd ever set up for them, utilities, phone bill, streaming services like Netflix and Amazon Prime, and started cutting the cords. One at a time. Unsubscribed. Changed passwords. Removed cards. No warning. No notice. Just gone. 5:31 a.m. I tried calling my mortgage broker. The call dropped halfway through, so I followed up by email instead. Effective today, Please redirect all Smith family payments away from my account. Send future invoices to my address only. Their automated response came back fast. Cold. Final. Like a door shutting. By 5:45 a.m., I opened up my legal app. Selected a boilerplate non-disclosure and cease and desist. Swapped in their names. Attached a digital version of the box contents as proof of chain of custody. Hit send. Not hostile, just firm. Like the sound of a gavel tapping the desk. 5:52 a.m. Work email time. I wrote HR, I'm disabling my corporate card that's been shared with family. Please flag and forward any post-June 27th charges to me personally. Set it to send at exactly 8 a.m. 6:10 a.m. I opened the family group chat. No long message. No dramatic goodbye. I hit leave group. No emojis. Just a quiet exit. 6:15, I went through my Google autofill. Cleared every shared address. Every card tied to them. Still no emotions. Just scrubbing. A cleanup of my life, one field at a time. 6:23, I set up push alerts. For every revoked login, every locked service, every closed account. If they tried to get in, though, and I'd log it. 6:45 a.m. I remembered Mom had used my card to book a summer Airbnb for the family. I canceled it. Got a partial refund. Saved the receipt. Printed the refund notice, added it to the binder I'd started. 7 a.m. Filed a support ticket with the phone carrier. Disputed use of my personal line. Asked them to cut service as of June 27th. Requested the billing history, too. I didn't name anyone. Didn't need to. They'd piece it together. 7:15 a.m. Took a break. Just some coffee and a granola bar. But I used the time to sync all the PDF files. The screenshots. The emails. The policy changes. Everything. Sorted it all by date. Tagged it with labels. Frozen 5:07. Transfer reversed 5:12. Cease and desist 5:45. Like a digital map of every step I'd taken. By 8 a.m., my HR message went out. Family card disabled. Forward future charges. It was the first ripple that would hit the surface beyond just me. I braced myself. 8:15 a.m. I called to cancel the dentist appointment Mom had made on my card. Asked for the invoice to be redirected to her. Just her. Then I canceled it altogether. And I almost smiled. 8:30 a.m. Mom texted, "Where's the family card?" I answered simply, "You don't have it anymore." Didn't stick around for a reply. By 9 a.m., the bank confirmed. Card frozen, account restricted. 9:15, insurance, canceled. 9:30, Netflix shut down. Prime gone. Family group chat still dead silent. Each confirmation felt like pulling another brick out from under the house they'd built using my back as foundation. By 10 a.m., I was done. I printed everything. Slid the pages into a clean binder. Each section had a heading. Screenshots. Email chains. Legal documents. Timelines. And the final cover page read, "System repudiation, all claims terminated." I didn't send it to them right away. That would come later, on my terms, in front of everyone. That afternoon, I sat at my desk like nothing had changed. But the air felt different. Like I'd vacuumed out the pressure. They'd eventually realize. They'd scramble to reach me. But they wouldn't find the old version of me waiting to fix it. By evening, around 4:30, I created a calendar invite for each of them. Mom, Dad, my sister, and even Ethan, through her account. Subject, review of family system dependencies. Scheduled for Friday at 5 p.m. No Zoom link. No address. Just a time. A challenge, silent but clear. They responded quickly. Mom, what is this? Dad, are we supposed to attend? My sister, you've got to be kidding me. All invited. All aware. At 5 p.m. on the dot, I watched the group light up. 6 p.m., another FaceTime from my sister. Declined. I messaged back, "Please review the packet before reaching out." 6:30 p.m., more calls. More texts. My inbox started to fill. Still I said nothing. Just waited. Then at 7 p.m. sharp, The calendar invite popped open on their devices. No link. No Zoom. No physical address. Just access to a shared folder titled packet.pdf. As they opened it, simultaneously each one of them, everything came into view. I could see it in their eyes. Behind the pupils, their world was shifting. I didn't send an apology. Didn't give them any wiggle room to argue or spin the story. Just facts. A breakdown, clear as daylight, every account, payment, subscription, deposit, and phone line they'd tapped into since June 11, 2025. Now either frozen, canceled, or legally moved out of their reach. They no longer had access. And if they wanted to even ask for it back, they'd have to come to me directly. The group chat stayed eerily still. A string of notifications buzzed through. Mom viewed the packet. Dad viewed it. My sister opened it twice. Then, at exactly 7:05 p.m., the silence snapped. Mom wrote first, "We need to talk." Dad chimed in, "This is ridiculous." Then my sister, "You can't just do this." Messages started pouring in. One after another. Panic typed out in real time. I didn't respond. I watched it roll in like a wave I didn't need to stop. I wasn't trying to be right anymore. I was just done being used. And the longer I stayed quiet, the more I smiled. Because real freedom doesn't come with a dramatic speech. It's not loud or showy. It's measured. Final. And that night, I was done being the framework they leaned on. I sat in my den under the glow of a single lamp, binder beside me like courtroom evidence. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Earlier that week, I'd shaken hands with firm confidence. Tonight, I let the silence speak louder than anything I could say. By 7:10 p.m., it was Mom again, this time in the group chat. "This feels like betrayal. Families don't work like this." I read it without emotion. It didn't sting. I didn't even feel a flicker. At 7:12 p.m., my sister tried another FaceTime. It buzzed. I let it ring. Then came the texts, fast, frantic. "Answer me. Mom's hysterical. Just tell me you'll give it back." I didn't type a word. I let their panic stack like bricks on top of each other. By 7:20 p.m., my dad emailed HR at my company, CCing me, Mom, and my sister. He asked if I'd made any suspicious changes to expense accounts or if the company had flagged anything unusual. I still didn't reply. 7:25 p.m., the group chat hit a fever pitch. "Dad, is this because you hate us?" "Sister, I can't believe you'd actually go this far." "Mom, please think about your father." "About me." Still, I said nothing. At 7:30 p.m., I got a ping from my attorney's office. My lawyer forwarded a message from Mrs. Smith, Mom, accusing me of defamation and demanding I hand over sensitive family financials. The firm wanted to know if I'd like to proceed with a motion to dismiss. I logged it mentally. Just another expected move in a predictable sequence. 7:35 p.m., my dad tried FaceTime. He looked worn out, like he hadn't slept. "Son, please," he said. "Talk to me." His voice cracked mid-sentence. I let it go to voicemail. 7:40 p.m., a new text from my sister. "We're going to the media next. We'll tell everyone how cruel you are. How ungrateful." She didn't stop there. "You're a monster." At 7:45 p.m., an attachment came through my HR inbox, a zipped file with screenshots from Family Messenger. It was Mom texting a cousin, "He's unstable. We need to raise the alarm." No proof. Just another smear. 7:50 p.m., another legal alert. This one from my sister's husband, accusing me of elder abuse and exploitation. My lawyer filed it. I did too, another document for the binder. At 7:55 p.m., I looked at the binder still sitting closed under the lamp's cone of light. It was just paper. But to them, it was a declaration of war. That's when I opened the group chat again. The latest messages weren't dramatic, just desperate. "Mom, you don't understand what it's like to be scared." "Dad, your sister's been crying all night." "Sister, Ethan keeps asking if his favorite uncle doesn't love him anymore." No pleading. No explanations. I typed one line. "You chose this." Then I deleted it. They didn't need a reply. I didn't need to be part of the chaos. 8 p.m. Everything went quiet. A moment later, FaceTime. Mom again. 2 rings. I declined. Then a single blue eye message from Dad, just 1 tick. An old phone, no read receipt. And then something I didn't expect. 8:05 p.m. Dad's number called again, but it was the hospital this time. Mom's voice was on the other end. Thin. The mortgage payment didn't go through, she said. The bank's calling. We don't know what to do. Silence followed. That's when I knew they'd followed the entire packet. Step by step. Line by line. And the impact wasn't theoretical anymore. It was real. Immediate. Physical. 8:10 p.m. One more FaceTime, this time with all 3 of them. I stared at the screen. My sister's mascara had smeared down her cheeks. Dad looked broken. Mom stared dead on, her eyes sharp but tired. They weren't crying. They were demanding. Mom, undo it. We'll make it right. Sister, you ruined everything. For what? Dad, we can fix this. Just talk to us. I didn't budge. Then Mom leaned in, her voice a little softer. Please. Just say something. I turned my mic off. Then the sound. Let the screen stay open for a few more seconds. And I ended the call. 8:15 p.m., the group chat exploded again. Mom, I don't even recognize you anymore. Dad, I raised you better than this. Sister, you're not family. Then one more message that struck differently. Sister, your niece asked for you. She said you must not love her anymore. That one hit. But not like guilt. More like clarity. This wasn't about who I hurt. This was about where I finally drew a line. At 8:20 p.m., I opened the lawyer template. Drafted a formal cease and desist for defamation. Attached screenshots. Slid it into my attorney's inbox. 8:25 p.m. The group chat responded again. Mom, you've lost it. We're going to the police for harassment. Sister, we'll get custody over Ethan's assets. Dad, you've destroyed the family legacy. So I typed one final message. If you send one more false claim or contact anyone else about me, you'll be served through counsel. This ends now. No yelling. No emotion. Just facts. Sent it. 8:30 p.m., quiet again. The pause. Then at 8:35 p.m., Mom wrote back. We accept your terms. We won't contact you unless you contact us first. Then, peace treaty. But I could feel the storm behind it. The way panic hides behind politeness when the walls start caving in. They understood now. This wasn't temporary. This was structural collapse. By 8:45 that evening, I closed the laptop. The binder stayed right where it was. Shut, untouched. Still heavy with proof. That packet? It wasn't just paperwork anymore. It had become a kind of quiet guard, standing there in the silence. The whole room felt like it had been hollowed out, filled now with nothing but stillness. Later, I heard the aftershocks. Dad's mortgage missed its auto-pay window, and the system flagged it. Weekend warning, no grace. Mom had to call and reschedule her own dental visit. And my sister? She pulled Ethan's video message request from my inbox, blaming it on too much stress. They were still trying to spin things. Still trying to frame the fallout on their terms. But this time, the control belonged to me. And I smiled to myself, sitting there in the quiet, because all this had started with a locked box. But it ended with a wall they never saw coming. They tried to control me, I gave them boundaries. They tried to downplay me, I answered with distance. They expected me to just swallow the silence, again. I gave them finality. Clear and calm. They were hoping for shame. I handed them the truth. It began small. A post on LinkedIn. Just one photo, the rooftop from that night. Table set for guests that never came. Empty chairs. String lights still softly glowing. The caption read, $8,700. Custom rooftop. Reserved for a promotion dinner. No one came. The event got moved last minute. But my nephew got an A+. My mom posted, some wins actually matter. This is how my family sees me. No names. No finger pointing. Just facts. By the time the sun came up, the post had over 9,000 reactions. Comments flooded in, stories from strangers. People who'd been there. People who saw themselves in mine. By noon, a recruiter from a Fortune 500 company messaged me directly. Said they'd followed my work for a while. Called the post brave. Asked if I was free next week. But I didn't answer right away. I wasn't done. I opened up my documents folder. Inside were all the files, bank statements, transfers, the car I bought them, my sister's wedding I footed, the dental insurance I quietly maintained. Every number, sorted and dated. I posted a second image, a snapshot from the binder, details redacted, but the totals were clear. Mortgage, $1,825 times 34 months. Paid by me. Insurance, $212 per month, canceled July 1st. Rooftop dinner, 40% refunded after no-shows. And underneath it, a line I'd thought about for weeks. When someone stays the silent support system long enough, eventually they step into the light. That's when the floodgates opened. Messages from old classmates, former coworkers, distant relatives I hadn't heard from in years. One cousin wrote, "They told us you were unstable. I'm sorry. I believed it for a while." Another said, "I always thought you were just quiet. I didn't know you were the backbone." Then the media started circling. 3 blogs. 1 podcast. I declined all the interviews. But I agreed to one thing, a long-form essay. The title? The Invisible Sun. It spread fast, viral by the end of the day. It wasn't cruel. It wasn't vindictive. It was clear. Straightforward. It showed the receipts. The sticky note. The Facebook post. The binder pages. The screaming voicemail. The system I'd built and revoked. The final paragraph hit the tone I needed. I didn't write this to hurt them. I wrote it so no one else would confuse being quiet with being disposable. I gave until they erased me. So I erased their access. That broke the spell. By day 3, the ripple hit them directly. My sister deleted her Instagram. Dad quietly removed a post where he'd accused me of overreacting. Mom, meanwhile, wrote a 3-paragraph status about how family is complicated. I didn't comment. I just hit the so everyone could see. And then I made one last move. I gave my lawyer the green light to send the full binder to 2 places. The family's accountant. And my company's legal team. It wasn't vengeance. It was record-keeping. Balance restored. Because all this time, my silence had been their tool. But now it was my edge. And once the lies were exposed, all I had to do was show my receipts. And I've still got more of them, tucked away. I didn't expect them to show up again. Not after the binder. Not after LinkedIn. Not after I went quiet. But families like mine don't retreat. They recalibrate. It was a Sunday, late afternoon, when the knock came. I recognized the rhythm. Same knock my dad used when I was little. I opened the door. There they were. All 3 of them. Mom holding a container of food like it was still normal. Dad wearing the jacket I bought him last Christmas. My sister in sunglasses, though the sky outside was overcast. I didn't speak. Just stepped aside. But I didn't invite them in. We stood in the hallway. My space suddenly felt both tighter and stronger. Mom started. Voice low. Rehearsed. We've been talking. A lot. We know we didn't handle things well. I didn't say a word. She held out the Tupperware. It's chicken. Your favorite. Still warm. I didn't take it. Then Dad stepped forward. His delivery was rougher. Cracked around the edges. This family's always had its cracks. But we built something together. That has to mean something, right? Still, I said nothing. Then my sister spoke. Do you even care what Ethan thinks about you now? And that's when I finally answered. Measured. You cared more about Ethan's A+ than you did about my promotion. That told me everything I needed to know about your priorities. Mom blinked, startled. It wasn't like that. I nodded. It never is, until the receipts show up. Dad took a step closer, voice low. You're still our son. That has to count for something. I met his eyes. It does. That's why I gave so much. For so long. Until I realized I wasn't giving, I was being drained. Silence settled in again. Mom's hand shook slightly. What do you want us to say? I exhaled slowly. Nothing. I'm not here for apologies. I'm here to say no. Their faces went blank. So I clarified. No, I'm not reactivating anything. No, I'm not floating the mortgage. No, I'm not your fallback anymore. My sister mumbled something under her breath. I turned to her. This was never about the money. I walked away because none of you saw me. You saw what I could do. What I could cover. A system you could drain without ever looking up. She crossed her arms. You always thought you were better than us. I nearly laughed. No, I thought I was part of us. Until the day you handed my seat to someone with a discount flooring coupon. That one stung. I saw it. Dad tried again. One last swing. We never meant to hurt you. I didn't flinch. But you did. Repeatedly. And I'm done. Mom's voice cracked. So what now? You just walk away? I nodded. Just quietly. With my name. My piece. And all my passwords changed. They stood there, stunned. It felt like the door had already closed, even though it was still open. I stepped back, stayed calm. No yelling. No tears. No drama. Just one last sentence. This wasn't about one dinner. It was about years of distance. And today, I finally chose to walk away. Then I shut the door. Not a slam. Just a click. Closure.